What if I told you that some of the people you believe are gone forever may not be as far away as you think? What if death is not an ending, but simply a doorway, and those who crossed before you have been trying to reach you in ways so subtle that most people dismiss them without ever realizing what they are? According to Edgar Cayce, one of the most documented psychic intuitives in history, the soul survives physical death, consciousness continues, and love itself creates bonds that cannot be broken by the grave. For centuries, people from every culture have reported strange experiences after losing someone they loved, a familiar scent appearing out of nowhere, a dream that felt more real than waking life, a sudden feeling of comfort during the darkest moment. Many dismiss these things as coincidence, but Edgar Cayce suggested that some experiences may be far more than imagination. He taught that spirit continues beyond physical life, and that communication between dimensions may happen in ways that bypass the ordinary senses. Cayce repeatedly described death not as extinction, but as transition. In his readings, he compared physical life to a school for the soul. The body changes, but consciousness continues. Relationships continue. Affection continues. And sometimes, according to his teachings, departed souls seek ways to reassure those they left behind. The first hidden sign may come through dreams. Edgar Cayce placed tremendous importance on dreams. He believed dreams served as a bridge between the conscious mind and deeper spiritual realities. While many dreams are symbolic and influenced by everyday experiences, Cayce explained that some dreams carry impressions from souls who have crossed over. These dreams often feel different. They possess unusual clarity. Colors appear vivid. Emotions feel unmistakably real. Time seems to disappear. And perhaps most importantly, the person you encounter does not seem like a memory. They seem present. Many individuals have described dreams in which departed loved ones appeared healthy, peaceful, and filled with light. They spoke few words, but those words carried enormous meaning. Sometimes they simply smiled. Sometimes they embraced the dreamer. Sometimes they said, "Everything is all right." According to Cayce, these experiences may represent genuine soul contact. He believed that during sleep, the conscious mind becomes quiet, allowing deeper dimensions of awareness to emerge. In this state, communication becomes easier because the distractions of physical reality are temporarily suspended. What makes these encounters so remarkable is the lasting effect they leave behind. Ordinary dreams fade quickly, but experiences of this kind often remain vivid for decades. People remember every detail. They wake with tears, peace, and an overwhelming sense that what occurred was real. The second hidden sign involves unexplained feelings of presence. Have you ever entered a room and suddenly felt that someone you loved was standing nearby? Have you ever experienced a strange warmth, peace, or awareness that seemed impossible to explain? Edgar Cayce taught that consciousness exists beyond physical form. Because of this, he suggested that souls may occasionally project impressions that sensitive individuals can perceive. These moments are rarely dramatic. They are subtle, a feeling, a sensation, a sudden calm arriving in the middle of grief. It may happen while sitting quietly. It may happen during prayer. It may happen while looking through old photographs or simply remembering. Countless people describe these experiences in almost identical ways. They say the atmosphere changed. Fear disappeared. An unmistakable feeling of love filled the room. Some even report sensing a hand upon their shoulder or a gentle touch, though nothing physical could be seen. Cayce believed love creates connections that transcend dimensions. He suggested that strong emotional bonds continue after death and that spiritual impressions may travel through these connections. Interestingly, these experiences often happen when they are least expected. They cannot be forced. They arrive quietly, almost like whispers rather than voices. The third sign may appear through meaningful coincidences. Carl Jung called them synchronicities. Edgar Cayce described life as guided by spiritual laws that connect events in ways human beings rarely understand. Have you ever asked for a sign and then noticed something impossible to ignore? Perhaps a favorite song suddenly played. Perhaps a meaningful phrase appeared repeatedly. Perhaps a specific bird, butterfly, or symbol associated with someone you loved began showing up everywhere. Skeptics call it coincidence. Yet coincidence becomes difficult to explain when events align with remarkable timing and emotional significance. Imagine grieving deeply and asking silently for reassurance. Moments later, you receive a phone call from an old friend speaking words that answer your exact thoughts. Or perhaps you discover an old photograph at the precise moment you needed encouragement. Cayce believed that spirit works through natural laws rather than violating them. Messages often arrive through circumstances instead of supernatural spectacles. He once emphasized that God speaks through channels already present within life itself. Therefore, signs may emerge through ordinary events carrying extraordinary meaning. The fourth hidden sign involves sudden memories and overwhelming emotions. Without warning, a memory surfaces. A laugh you haven't heard in years, a phrase they always said, a song connected to them. Suddenly, emotion rises so strongly that tears appear instantly. According to Edgar Cayce, memory itself exists on deeper levels than the brain. He described consciousness as existing within the soul, and he suggested that emotional impressions survive physical death. Some people notice these experiences during quiet moments. Others experience them while driving, walking, or performing simple tasks. There appears to be no obvious trigger. Yet the memory arrives with unusual intensity. Many believe these moments happen because the mind randomly recalls information. Cayce proposed something far more fascinating. He suggested that emotional connections allow vibrations between souls to remain active. Could it be that love itself leaves an imprint stronger than time? Perhaps these sudden floods of emotion are not interruptions. Perhaps they are reminders. The fifth hidden sign may come through unexplained fragrances. One of the most commonly reported experiences among grieving individuals involves familiar scents appearing without any physical explanation. Someone smells their grandmother's perfume. Another notices the aroma of pipe tobacco associated with their father. Others detect flowers, cooking scents, or fragrances deeply connected to memories of someone they lost. Often, no source can be found. Windows are closed. Nobody nearby wears that perfume, yet the scent appears clearly and vanishes just as mysteriously. Edgar Cayce taught that vibrations exist beyond what human senses normally perceive. He believed subtle impressions may influence consciousness through pathways science does not yet fully understand, because smell is closely connected to memory and emotion. Many researchers have noted that scent possesses extraordinary power over human experience. Cayce suggested that spiritual communication often utilizes channels already linked to emotional meaning. These moments usually last only seconds. Yet the emotional impact remains unforgettable. Perhaps that is because love never truly disappears. It simply finds new ways to remind us that connections continue beyond what the eyes can see. And one of the most fascinating signs Edgar Cayce ever discussed involves the mysterious role of animals and nature itself. The sixth hidden sign may appear through animals and the natural world. Across countless cultures, people have reported unusual encounters with birds, butterflies, dragonflies, and other creatures following the loss of someone they loved. While Edgar Cayce never claimed that departed souls literally become animals, he did teach that spiritual forces may use nature to awaken awareness and provide comfort. Imagine sitting outside while grieving, and suddenly, a butterfly lands upon your hand and remains there far longer than expected. Or perhaps a cardinal appears repeatedly during moments of sadness. Maybe a bird taps upon your window at precisely the moment you are thinking about someone you lost. To many, these are coincidences, but Cayce believed that nothing in creation exists separate from divine intelligence. He taught that all life is connected and that spirit may influence impressions and circumstances through channels already present within the natural world. Whether these encounters are direct messages or symbolic reminders, their effect is often the same. They bring peace. They restore hope. They remind people that life is larger than the physical world alone. The seventh hidden sign may come through inner knowing. Sometimes there are no dreams, no sense, and no unusual experiences. Instead, there comes a deep certainty, a quiet voice within the heart, a sudden understanding that the person you love is safe. Edgar Cayce frequently spoke about intuition. He believed that every human being possesses spiritual abilities that often remain dormant beneath the noise of daily life. According to his readings, intuition represents the language of the soul. Many people describe moments when grief suddenly lifted for no obvious reason. Nothing changed externally, yet internally they felt peace. Fear vanished. Anxiety dissolved, and a strange certainty emerged. It wasn't imagination, it wasn't wishful thinking. It felt as though reassurance itself had arrived. Cayce taught that prayer and meditation allow individuals to become more aware of spiritual impressions. He emphasized that the soul is constantly connected to divine consciousness and that guidance is available when the mind becomes still. Perhaps the reason these moments feel so powerful is because truth carries its own quiet authority. But why? Do some people experience signs while others do not? Edgar Cayce addressed this question in many ways. He suggested that spiritual awareness varies from person to person. Fear, stress, grief, and skepticism can all influence perception. He never claimed that God favored one individual over another. Instead, he taught that everyone possesses spiritual sensitivity, but not everyone recognizes it. Think about radio waves. They exist whether or not a receiver is turned on. Likewise, Cayce believed spiritual realities surround us constantly, but awareness depends upon our ability to perceive them. Ironically, intense grief itself can sometimes make signs harder to recognize. When pain becomes overwhelming, the mind focuses entirely on loss. Fear dominates attention, Despair narrows awareness. Yet, as healing begins, many people suddenly notice experiences they previously overlooked. A dream, a memory, a coincidence, a feeling of peace, and slowly, they begin to wonder whether love truly ends. For Edgar Cayce, the answer was clear: love survives. Again and again, Cayce described the soul as eternal. He taught that individuals do not cease to exist after physical death. Instead, they continue learning, growing, and progressing within dimensions beyond ordinary perception. He referred to death as merely changing rooms. He explained that souls remain themselves. Personality continues. Memory continues. Affection continues. Nothing essential is lost. This perspective transformed the way he viewed grief. Grief was natural. Tears were natural. Missing someone was natural. But hopelessness was unnecessary, because separation, according to Cayce, is temporary. He believed families are reunited. He believed friendships continue. He believed souls who share love remain connected across lifetimes. In numerous readings, Cayce spoke of reincarnation and the continuity of consciousness. He suggested that the people we love today may have shared previous experiences with us and may continue sharing experiences in the future. To him, existence was not random, it was purposeful. Every relationship carried meaning, every encounter shaped the soul, and death itself represented not an ending, but a transition into another stage of growth. This understanding brought tremendous comfort to thousands who sought his guidance. Yet, Cayce also warned against obsession. He encouraged people not to spend their lives chasing signs or demanding constant communication from the departed. Instead, he advised individuals to focus upon living meaningful lives. Love others. Serve others. Pray. Meditate, develop kindness. Seek spiritual growth, because according to Cayce, the greatest way to honor those who have passed is not through endless sorrow, but through becoming the highest version of ourselves. He taught that souls who cross over desire our happiness, not our despair. They do not wish us to stop living. They wish us to continue growing, to continue loving, to continue fulfilling the purpose we came here to accomplish. Perhaps that is why so many signs appear during moments when we need them most, not to create fear, not to trap us in the past, but to remind us that we are never truly alone. Modern science still struggles to explain consciousness itself. Researchers debate whether awareness arises from the brain or whether the brain merely acts as a receiver for something deeper. Edgar Cayce stood firmly in the belief that consciousness survives bodily death. And while science continues searching for answers, millions of people throughout history have shared experiences remarkably similar to one another. Dreams that changed their lives. Coincidences impossible to forget. Moments of peace beyond explanation. Feelings of presence and overwhelming. Love arriving when they needed it most. Could all of humanity simply be imagining the same things? Perhaps. Or perhaps there are mysteries greater than our current understanding. Perhaps love itself reveals something profound about reality, because if love can survive memory, if love can survive distance, if love can survive decades, then maybe love can survive death. Edgar Cayce once said that spirit is the life, mind is the builder, and the physical is the result. Those words suggest something extraordinary. You are more than a body. Those you love are more than bodies. And what is real at the deepest level cannot be destroyed. So, if you've ever awakened from a vivid dream and felt comfort instead of sadness, if you've ever sensed a presence you couldn't explain, if you've ever smelled a familiar fragrance with no source, if you've ever noticed strange coincidences that seemed impossible to dismiss, if you've ever felt overwhelming peace appear out of nowhere, then perhaps you should not be so quick to ignore those moments. Maybe they are merely memories. Maybe they are coincidences, or maybe, just maybe, the bonds created by love are stronger than death itself, and perhaps the souls we mourn are not truly gone. Perhaps they are simply beyond the veil, watching, learning, growing, and waiting for the day when separation becomes reunion once again. Until then, Edgar Cayce encouraged us to live without fear, to seek God, to serve others, to cherish every relationship, and to remember that death may close the eyes, but according to the wisdom he shared, it does not extinguish the light of the soul, because what is born of spirit does not end. It continues, and love, the greatest force of all, may be the bridge that connects both worlds.